What's up guys, Jonny May here and welcome to this week's quick tip where I'm going to teach you how you can hack piano chords. That's right, you can actually hack chords with this amazing little trick, and literally every pro pianist that I've heard uses this trick to take ordinary chords and make them sound super cool. I'm so excited to teach it to you. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, the first step to hacking your chords is to focus on a chord that's commonly used in virtually all piano styles. And one of the most common chords that we use when we're playing, pop styles or jazz or blues or whatever is called the dominant 7 chord. So this is a C7 chord. It's like a C major triad, and we're adding a flat 7 to this chord. And you'll find dominant 7th chords in all styles, like the blues, like jazz music, and also modern gospel. So this is one of the most important types of chords that you really want to know how to hack if you want to take your chords and play them in a more interesting way. Now, before I teach you chord hacking step 1, if you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. All right, chord hacking step number 1 is super simple. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your dominant 7th chord and you're going to remove the 5th of the chord. So you count up 5 notes from C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to take the G out, and now we have a partial chord with the C, E, and the B flat, okay? This is called a chord shell, and it is a partial chord. It's a very important chord to know if you're playing jazz and blues and different styles, because it lays the foundation in your left hand so that you can add these beautiful chord colors in your right hand, which I'm going to show you next. All right, chord hacking step number 2 is the most important step, because in this step, you're going to learn this amazing technique that pro pianists use. You heard me playing it at the beginning of this video, and these are called Upper Structure Triads. There are 5 of them that you really need to know if you want to transform your chords. So make sure to watch all the way through the 5 techniques, and then I'm going to show you how you can apply them to some common chord progressions to make your playing sound absolutely amazing. All right, the first upper structure technique sounds like this. Doesn't that sound amazing? So what am I doing? Well, you're going to start with your C7 chord. We're going to take the 5th out, and then here is the magic. In the right hand, we're going to play a simple D major triad. So check it out. D major looks like that. Super simple, and now play the full chord. Doesn't that sound awesome? And what we just did is we just took an ordinary C7 chord and we made it sound super colorful by simply placing a D major triad on top of this chord. And so this is why we call this an upper structure triad, is because it's a major triad that we impose over a dominant 7th chord, and it makes it sound super cool. And the reason this chord sounds so good is because you're hitting what are called chord extensions and chord alterations. So this D is called the 9th, the F sharp is called the sharp 11, and the A is called the 13. These are called chord extensions. This is called a chord alteration. And so when you combine all of these notes, you end up with what's called a C13 sharp 11 chord. Now, if these names are going over your head, don't worry, they will make sense over time. The good news is that you don't have to know the 9 and the sharp 11 and the 13 to play these chords. In fact, the simple trick to playing this chord is to start on the root note, the C, and just go up a whole step to D, and then play a major chord on the D. So we're going to play the major chord up here, the C7 on the bottom, and we have this beautiful chord. So the quick trick to remembering this upper structure is that it is a 2 upper structure, meaning that it's built on the 2nd note of the C scale. In other words, it's a D major over a C. All right, upper structure number 2 is what's called the flat 3 upper structure, and it sounds like this. And I love the sound of this upper structure. It has a very crunchy, kind of jazzy sound to it. So how does this work? Well, we're going to play a C7 in our left hand, and then we're going to play a major triad on the flat 3 related to C. So what's the flat 3 related to C? Well, 1, 2, 3, there's my C major scale, and then I flat the 3rd, I have my E flat. Well, that's the note that we're going to build the triad on. So playing E flat major triad, C7 in the left hand, put it together, has a super cool sound. Now for this upper structure, you're hitting the sharp 9 of the chord, and then you're playing the 5th and the 7th in the right hand. So you get this really cool, kind of crunchy sound between these two notes, but if you voice your chord right, it sounds really nice. By the way, if you want to do a deep dive on chord extensions and chord alterations, you want to understand how they work on chords, how to practice them, how to use them in chord progressions, we have a great course called our Chord Extensions course and our Chord Alterations course. I'll put a link to those below. All right, you've learned 2 upper structures. We have 3 more to go, and then I'm going to show you how to use these on some really common chord progressions, so stay tuned for that. All right, your 3rd upper structure technique is called the flat 5 technique, and here's what it sounds like. A very, very crunchy technique. So how does this work? Well, let's go back to our C7 chord. There's that chord shell, and then in the right hand, you're going to build an upper structure on the flat 5 related to C. So if we start on C and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 using the notes of the C major scale, and then you flat the note to a G flat, you're going to build a major triad on the G flat. So let's play a G flat major triad. C7 in the left hand. I'm going to do a little inversion. I'm going to bring this down to a 2nd inversion chord, and let's play it together. A very crunchy sounding C7. Now the technical name for this chord is called a C7 sharp 11 flat 9, because these are the altered notes or the alterations that we're hitting in the right hand. But again, you don't have to know the sharp 11 and the flat 9 to play these chords. All you have to think is it's the flat 5 major chord related to the C. So G flat major over C7. All right, your 4th upper structure is called your flat 6 upper structure, and it sounds like this. Again, a super jazzy, super crunchy sound. So how do we build this upper structure? Well, we start with that C7 chord in the left hand, and then you're going to build a major chord on the flat 6 related to C. So let's do this. Let's play the C scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to flat it to an A flat, and then you build a major triad on the A flat. So there's our major triad. I'm going to bring it down to a 2nd inversion, so it's a little bit closer to my left hand, and let's play the full chord. Okay, super crunchy, jazzy sound. A lot of crunch there in the middle of the chord. Now, the technical name for this chord is called a C7 flat 13, sharp 9, but again, you can simply think of this as an A flat major triad over a C7 chord shell. All right, before I teach you the 5th upper structure technique, if you want to do a deep dive on upper structures, you want to learn some great exercises to master them, plus how to apply them to different chord progressions, check out our course, Coloring Dominant Chords with Upper Structures. I'll put a link to that below. All right, the 5th upper structure technique is what's called the 6 upper structure, and it sounds like this. Okay, again, a super cool, kind of crunchy sound. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm playing the C7 in my left hand, and then I'm building an upper structure on the 6th note of the C scale. So if we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's our A. We play an A major triad, and then we're going to play this in 1st inversion, so it's a little closer to our left hand chord, and let's play the full chord. Okay, very cool sound. There's a lot of crunch in the middle of this chord. Now the technical name for this chord is called a C13 with a flat 9. But again, you could simply think of this as an A major over a C7. All right, you learned the first two steps to chord hacking, which is first to remove the fifth from your chord, and second to learn your 5 upper structures. So in step number 3, we're going to apply this idea to a common chord progression. And one of the most common progressions we use is the blues progression, and it's a great progression to get started with because it's only 3 chords. So the first chord is a C7 chord. We're going to take the fifth out. You already know this chord. The next chord is an F7 or a 4 chord. We're going to take the fifth out. So again, it's just a simple chord shell. And then a 5 chord, a G7. And once again, we're going to take the fifth out of this chord. All right, so how are we going to mix these upper structures together to create an interesting sound? Well, one way that you could do it is what I call variation 1. And this is a flat 6 2-2 formula. So in other words, on our first chord, we're going to play a flat 6 upper structure, and then on the next chord, we're going to play a 2 upper structure, and then on the next chord, we're going to play a 2 upper structure. Okay, so check it out. C7, let's play a flat 6 upper structure. What's the flat 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A flat. We're going to play an A flat major on the top. Okay, on the F chord, we're going to play a 2 upper structure. So there's the second note above F. We're going to play a G upper structure, okay? Then on the third chord, the G7, we're going to play a 2 upper structure. So we go up a step and we play an A major in the right hand. Now when you're playing these chords, you want to spread the notes out a little bit. So the way that I like to play it is I grab the C on the bottom for the first chord, and then I'm going to play my A flat chord in second inversion like this. So we have root up to chord, and it sounds really cool, okay? For the F chord, I'll grab a low F like this. I'll jump up to the 3rd and the 7th. These are inverted, and I'll put my G major chord there, okay? So when you play them together, get that sound. It sounds really nice, okay? Then for the G chord, grab the root, the 3rd and the 7th inverted, and the A major there, okay? So let's put them together, and we get this awesome sound. All right, once you're feeling good with this, let's play it with the included backing track. And by the way, this lesson comes with 3 downloadable backing tracks at different tempos. You can also download and print the lesson sheet music you're seeing on the top left of your screen. And you can change the key of this entire lesson with the click of one button with our smart sheet music. So I'll put a link to all of that below. So you ready to play with the backing track? Let's do it. Here we go. C, F. Back to C, and now to F, and back to C, and now the G, and F, back to C, and a quick G. All right, here's a second variation you can do on your upper structures. This is a 2-6-6 upper structure formula. And so here's how this works. On the C7, we're going to play a 2 chord, a D major. On the 4 chord, the F, we're going to play a 6 in the right hand. Well, what's the 6 of F? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's also a D major chord. It's the same chord, D major on the C and a D major on the F. Okay? Then on the 5 chord, we're also going to play a 6. Well, what's the 6 of G? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an E, and we have our E upper structure. Okay? So 2, 6, 6. Okay? Now it's really nice to spread the notes out. So on the C, we grab the root. There's the D. On the F, we're going to grab a low F, and we're going to play it like this. Okay? There's the 3 and the 7, same chord in the right hand. Okay, then on the G, there's the root, and we're going to play it like this, okay? 7, 3, and here's the 6th chord, the E upper structure. You ready to play this one with the backing track? Let's do it. Here we go. And the F, back to C, and to the F. You can change inversions like that, you see? Now to the G chord, and back to C, and a quick G. All right, a third variation you can use with your upper structure triads is what's called the flat 3, flat 5, flat 5 formula. And here's how it works. We're gonna take our C7, we're gonna play a flat 3 on this. So 1, 2, 3, there's the flat 3, it's an E flat triad, okay? On the F chord, we're gonna play a flat 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's the flat 5, it's a B major upper structure, okay? Then on the G chord, we're gonna play another flat 5. So what's the flat 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do a D flat, and that's a D flat upper structure, okay? So once again, E flat upper structure, B major upper structure, D flat upper structure, okay? Now you're gonna wanna spread these notes out. So on the C chord, grab the root, there's that E flat upper structure, okay? On the F, low F, doesn't that sound nice? We have a B major in the right hand, and then the chord shell in the left hand. And then the final chord, the G chord, grab that low G. Okay, there's that D flat major on the top and the chord shell in the left hand. All right, let's play this with the included backing track. And here we go. To F, and back to C. You can play different inversions, and back to F, and back to C. And the G chord, and the F, and back to C, and a quick G. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the lesson, please let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out pianowithjonny.com. We have over 1,000 step-by-step lessons for all playing levels where you'll learn your favorite songs, styles, and how to improvise at the piano. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.